have it.
We have
No.
1, 2, 3, 5,
One more is off.
6. 6 is correct? Huh?
It's 1, 2, 3.
Leslie, are you a member?
Yes.
Okay. You then come to the table.
I will.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay.
I didn't
So
even
we
see
have
it.
quorum then.
Yes.
All right, so meeting is called to order at 10:34. Public comment on non-agenda items. No public comments? The courier doesn't want to make comments? No? Okay. Superintendent presence update. Well, happy holidays. I don't have that much of an update other than to say that the college is doing very well.
Review the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. All right, yeah, review and approval of minutes, notes, meeting notes from October 18. A motion to approve?
So moved.
All right. Second?
Segundo.
Everybody in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, so the minutes are approved.
I abstain. I
You
wasn't
abstain?
here.
Okay, one abstention. Mr. Mark Whitworth, all right. Okay, so superintendent presence update. Like I said, I don't have much to report about. The college is doing very well. Classes are coming to an end this week, right, Dr. Junie?
Sunday is the official last day.
Sunday is the official last day, and management will be here through the Friday of next week, and then we will come back on January 2nd, right? Enrollment is looking good for the intersession, right, Dr. Judy? All right. For those of you who were at the board meeting yesterday, you saw that for a third year in a row, we had a perfect audit. No findings. Not only no findings, there were nothing, not even disagreement that was reached with college administration for us to fix. I mean, that's like, you can't beat that. That's like the highest score anybody can get. 3 years in a row we've done that. 2 years in a row we've presented balanced budget, right? So things are going very well. And that will conclude my report. Academic affairs update.
So, you did mention already, that the winter intersession enrollments look good. We're actually, more than 2% in numbers above where, the same time last year, so, a few weeks before. So we will exceed the enrollments, that we had from last winter, which is good. Spring registration is also going, and it lagged behind a little bit compared to spring 18, because the time before the winter break that we started registration was a little bit later than it was for spring 18, but we are catching up. And so as of this morning, we're actually just 730. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number. We're about 1,000 enrollments below what we were last spring at this time. And
Okay.
so probably by next week or so, we'll have caught up with spring of 18.
And one comment I have as far as working with students regarding the registration for spring, especially this time around, it literally fell for the majority of our students during finals week.
Right.
So I'm not sure what can be done next year to actually move it, again, a little more ahead so they can have more time to actually not stress out about registration and finals at the same time.
Well, I think, you know, that's a conversation that Dr. Olivo and I should have. You know, I think that it's interesting because we have done it so that it falls a little bit before finals, and students don't register because they're still, you know, they're still focusing on spring. And so it's one of those that it seems like that would be better, but then at the same time, they don't pay attention. They're not paying attention to spring until they finish fall.
Yeah.
And so it's not clear
Which
exactly what's the best one, but we can talk further about that and just see it.
All right.
The only other thing that I'll say at this point is we are hiring 57 new faculty for the beginning of fall 19, and that's wonderful. But it is a huge task to do everything that needs to be done for that, and so deans are working with faculty to get all the job announcements complete so that they can be posted before we go away for the winter. And that obviously is harder than it sounds. But we're hopeful that that will happen. And I'll just say also, there's been work with Senate and others in regard to the template language to update so that it even is more of an equity lens the way it's presented. And so I think that's also very encouraging. And that's actually helping because the template that we got, we worked with production so that what deans and faculty just now have to do is just insert their specific information, and so it won't take as long for production to then complete the task for us to post no later than next Friday. And some will actually be posted as early as this Friday. Also working with HR and the deans to then schedule more or less the timelines for all of those. It's not 57 committees, but so it's like 40-something committees, but we need to synchronize all of that so that they don't all have their interviews with the new president all in the same week. And so, so we're working through that, and the hope is that we'll have that mapped out so that Joellen and OC can block out months of time in March, April, and May of next year. So,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
About the posting. So when you say post, that's the internal posting first before it's made available to the public? Is
Those will go straight to the public.
there are a couple of positions, the lab positions in particular, which there's interest in faculty transfer, and according to AP 1710, we do have to offer those first. We fly them first internally before they are flown.
No, for faculty you don't. If the faculty member wants to transfer, they can request that through the contract. Explains how it is done.
I know.
We've done that before.
I've
We've
read
done
the
that before.
contract.
No,
AP
we've done that before. You just post it outside, and then
According
they
to
can
the
do it.
AP, it's pretty clear that it has to be flown internally before it's made available to the public. I'm happy to send
All
that.
position?
Yes.
Ah.
Well, technically, yeah, faculty positions.
Because we've never. I don't think we've ever done that before.
Yeah, I know
AP
that's for classified and management, but
The AP does actually stipulate this.
For faculty?
I can pull it.
Well, if you want, but I believe you. I mean, I'll defer to the vice president of HR, but to my knowledge, we have not flown them internally at all, faculty positions. We've never flown faculty positions internally.
The sentence reads, once it becomes open,
Yes,
something like
yeah.
that, it's flown internally before it's made available to the public. That's the sentence in the AP.
but it's not open until it's posted.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing, so I don't know
Yeah.
how we navigate
Well,
that.
so
but that's what the AP
so
says.
I'll talk with Bob afterwards, and we can kind of talk about the logistics of that. What I can say is that a few years ago, we had this situation, and we posted the position, and then there was interest internally, and so basically we followed the internal process, and then once basically we hired an internal person for that, and we then basically closed the position and
Right.
announced that.
What was the case with the
was
football coach?
No, that was, the one that I'm referring to was the associate degree nursing simulation lab.
And we did that with the football coach too.
Right. And so I'll work with Bob, we'll figure out the best way of
Because we
doing
did
that.
not post them internally. As soon as it opened, they
They have
applied,
the,
they asked
and they
for
have
it.
the opportunity to
Yeah.
apply for an internal
Right.
transfer. And then if that is granted, then we will pull that position, we'll close it
Right.
basically. What we'll also have to do in that regard, since the number, the 57, that magic number is being driven by Fawn, we would then have to increase the number of some other position that
Right.
we're flying.
I'm
And
just
the
saying
one,
here's what the
and the
AP
ones
says,
that I
that's
think
all.
that you're referring to are both in math and English, where there are general instructor positions, and then there's also positions to support the writing center and the math center. And so, for example, if we had an internal transfer of English faculty into the writing center position, instead of flying for 4 general English instructor, we would then have to increase that number to 5.
Yeah. Okay.
I would encourage us to follow the AP in that
I'll-
instance and prioritize.
Okay. Except, yeah.
The AP is pretty clear on what happens when there's a transfer or a resignation that's
Okay,
unexpected.
Bob Lizinski, you work with,
Yes, I work with Terry, but yeah,
okay,
I don't have the AP in front of me.
right.
You don't carry that in your pocket?
Not today.
What you could do, but work it out so that at least for those positions where there could be internal transfers, you post them internally.
That is true.
Because for the others, if you do that, you will miss your job fair. You will miss everything. I mean, it's going to delay the hiring process significantly that you will be interviewing even over summer next year. Because, okay?
I mean, that's assuming that there is an internal transfer.
Well, I mean, if we go by what you're saying, but if that's what the AP says, and you have to fly all those positions internally, that will delay the process by at least 3 to 4 weeks.
The sentence is really weird.
Okay,
I mean, this
so-
is a testament to.
But I'm just telling you what we've been doing in practice is we open the position, and then all the people that want to transfer internally, they submit their request to HR, and then at that point, we study their request. We set up the committees like we've done in 2 cases already, without having to fly the positions internally, and everything went fine. But if you do want, yeah, so.
Yeah, the sentence is
Right,
weird.
but anyway, so we will work on that, Bob and
Yeah.
Terry will work on
I'm
that.
assuming that that is how the normal process is
Right.
for one-off openings. I think in these instances where we have massive recruitments, I don't know, we need to talk about the reasonableness of that for massive recruitments versus the one-offs that we have, which is probably how this was
Right.
written.
Well, I would encourage us to follow the AP and isolate problems since we're considering rewriting it anyways. And then to sort out those problems for future cases, but I'm hesitant to continually violate APs because they're inconvenient.
Well, I think we need, my take on that is an AP needs to be, I don't know, we need to look at the value add of that decision and how it affects the entire campus. So if it's going to put us 5 weeks behind the 8 ball, then we need to revisit the AP today. But we're not gonna put the organization 5 weeks behind for 2 positions that we can somehow make work.
And we've made them work in the
Right.
past. I mean, over the 3.5 years I've
Yeah.
been here, it happened 2 times and it was fine. There was never any
I
problem.
don't think faculty would support being backed up 5 weeks either as a result of this. We need to find a better solution.
Not saying that they would, and I'm not saying it'd be 5 weeks, I'm simply saying this is what the AP reads, and it would be probably, because of the 10-day turnover, it wouldn't be a 5-week delay, it would
Okay.
be at most 2 weeks.
Well, it would be more than that because you have to interview people and then you have to get people to be ready. There must be a faculty committee to interview.
That's a very small committee, though.
Okay, yes, but it's still, you have to get people here,
I think it's 2 faculty
Right.
and a dean.
right?
Dean,
And
it's
then
not
it moves
actually
up,
an
yeah.
interview.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
not
an interview,
interview
it's
either.
more like
It's a
just talking to
discussion.
them to say, would you fit with us?
That's
So
pretty much it.
that part is a very quick process.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Student services, well, the VP is not here. Business administrative services, well, you know the vice president is leaving us. His last day will be January 11th, so.
Where's he
And,
going?
huh?
West Hills.
Where's
West Hills, yeah.
Up by-
Coalinga, Lemoore, he's going to be deputy chancellor there. Yeah,
Great.
3.5 hours from here.
he'll be commuting 7 hours a day.
That's just yesterday.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll get that bullet train going.
All right.
It's more than 3.5 hours because he's not driving from Pasadena, he's driving from Yorkville.
Say 4 hours. He's commuting 8 hours a day.
3.5 hours to get
Yeah.
past LA.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
All items, discussion and possible action, BP 1200 mission. So that will be presented by, you right, Lenora? Okay.
So just a quick overview of the process that we went through as a campus community. So a couple of years ago, from spring 2017 to spring 2018, there was an ad hoc task force composed of people from all constituency groups. There was a lot of student involvement as well to take a look at the current mission statement and its insane length and confusion and lack of being inspirational to people. In spring of 2017, the Campus Climate Survey confirmed that finding of the task force, that indeed people did not find it inspiring and they found it way too long. And so throughout fall of 2017 There were town hall meetings that were open to the public. They were held both on this campus and then on the Foothill campus and the Rosemead campus for public input into the current mission statement as well as revisions that the community would like to see. The President's Advisory Council, Committee meetings were conducted throughout the spring of 2018. Associated students had a fair amount of input in the spring of 2018, and in the summer of 2018, the Executive Committee reviewed the proposed mission statements, and those were in its early iterations. There are approximately 7 to 8 iterations of the new mission statement in total. In fall of 2018, we had our first read in this body of one of the earlier iterations, and then through the fall of 2018, it went through the various shared governance processes. The BP 1200 that's included in your packet was approved by Academic Senate a little under 2 months ago, approved by Classified Senate earlier in November, and a Management Association late in November, and Associated Students approved it yesterday. So this has been fully vetted through all the different groups. Everybody's on board with this much shorter mission statement. So just to give you a sort of hint, this is our previous mission statement. And then the proposed change is to this.
All right, so,
Move to approve.
Second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? All right, so now this will be distributed to all the groups on campus, right? All right, so we'll move on to the next
Can
one.
we,
And
can we backtrack to the hiring thing again?
Okay,
The,
Right.
because I was just looking at the contract. Contract says it has to be done at the same time.
same time.
Same time. Yeah. The wording in the contract is that at the same time an authorized faculty position is open, the Office of Human Resources shall notify each regular faculty member by putting a notice in his or her mailbox.
There are two
And then
words
you
in
have
AP.
10 days.
The AP says
The
once
AP
it's
is just
open.
AP though. They have to go by the
The
contract.
contract has
Will you
precedence over
allow me
the
to
AP.
finish? The AP does use the word open as well, and then later in the sentence, but before it becomes public. And so the AP is,
Doesn't
that sentence is really oddly phrased. I'm not sure what the distinction is between open and public.
yeah, so the sentence itself says when a faculty position becomes open before the public announcement, the Office of Human Resources shall distribute an announcement of these openings via email as either intra or inter departmental transfer opportunities to current faculty. And then it just said,
What does the contract say, Mark?
Contract says at the same time, so it doesn't really matter
Well,
what
in whenever there is anything like that, the contract takes precedence over the AP. Okay? The contract takes precedence over AP because the contract is.
I think that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
That's what
I know
we
I
do
get those things.
all the time.
In fact, I think I get them in the mail at home. I get a, you know.
The
this thing.
contract is illegal, is legal and binding, unlike the AP. Alright, so anytime there is something like that, there is a, if you want, where the contract and the AP disagree, or then the contract takes precedence, and then we have to fix the AP. The AP should be fixed to reflect the language that is in the contract, or else the contract gets renegotiated to reflect the language of the AP.
So to keep the spirit of the AP but follow the legality of the contract, can it be the case that internal candidates would form their own pool for interviewing purposes and
Yeah, they
screening
do that,
purposes?
yeah. That's how it has
And-
been. We've had that on 2 occasions in the past 3 years.
So
We
they,
were fine.
they do have a different process. And they
Yes,
kind
it's
of-
a completely different
that can be
process.
visited maybe first before the external candidates
That's
are
exactly
reviewed?
how
It
it
is.
goes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you. We've had that 2 times in the past 3 years.
yeah, they have a certain window where they need to
2
actually
times, and
say
in
yes
both
or no.
cases, the internal
They have to do it, they have to
And they
tell them
agree.
within 10
Uh-huh.
days.
Yeah.
They get a very small
Right.
committee, and the committee just says yes or no.
that's it. And then they move on to the second level interview,
Yeah.
There
and
is
then
no
it's yes or no.
second level interview with, mentioned in the contract about these positions.
There's no second level mention.
No, not in the contract. The
But we've
contract
al-
doesn't even mention a third level interview. The contract simply says the committee.
Yeah, it's
can-
just a yes or no.
Yeah,
Same thing
they
with-
convene, they vote,
Yeah.
end of sentence.
And then it goes to the president anyway. That's what the
Well, yeah, then
hiring
it's,
process,
well,
right?
yeah, it just says like on our actual AP, it just says the interview process shall be conducted in accordance with district PCFA
Yeah.
contract, section
5.8 and 5.8
Right.
simply
Whatever
says this
that is.
committee, it doesn't mention second level, it doesn't mention presidential level interviews. It just says this committee will meet, have a discussion, and vote.
But there would be no change in anything, I mean, I can assure you of that. If the committee recommends, it goes to, at that point, there's no second level. It goes straight to the president that will interview the candidate, the internal candidate, to see whether it's yes or no. Right? And then if it's a no, then the normal process continues again. Okay? All right. College Council 1819 goals. Who will present this one? Huh?
You?
I will. All right. So we have the 3 goals written right here, right? That was approved on the 27th of October 2016 for the 1819. The 3 goals here. You can see them, right? And discussion on those goals.
It's already been approved?
Well, we have to review them every year.
Oh, I see.
Right.
So
We didn't make any change last year, and this year,
these are the goals we had last year?
This is the goals we've had for the past 2 years.
for the past 3 years, we've had those same goals. I know you want to keep them and wait for the new president to take a look at them with you? Because anyway, it would be the same thing. Once we get them, they will have to go to be distributed, right? To all the groups on campus.
Well, I mean, why would these change? If this is 1819, then 1920 would be next academic year.
These
right?
are the goals we have right now for 1819, so it would be for 1920.
So are we looking to see what we want for the goals for 1920 right now?
So we table it till Crystal gets back, more
My
clarification.
question is, why are we looking at this?
Exactly, that's what I'm
I have the
saying.
What's
same
the
question,
point?
well, yeah.
In case we want to change our goals now in the middle?
I don't think we should. It should be 1920.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
It
sure
should be
why
College
it is
Council
brought up, so.
I think
1920
we need
goals.
to change horses in the middle of the race here.
Right. Why don't we table this one? We'll shelve it. What is it? Shelve or table? I'm forgetting.
Table.
Let's
We could
table this
reaffirm
one.
it if you want.
Huh?
We could reaffirm them.
Yeah, let's table this one, right? And we move on to new items.
I think if we table it, you have to specify when it will be revisited.
So we'll revisit it in, when
Next
the
college
next, in February? The next meeting of the College Council is in February, right? All right, so we'll revisit it in February.
Thank you.
All right. New item
Do we
discussion.
need to vote on a motion to table? Are we
Yes, we
Robert's
do.
rules in here?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. No, this is discussion and possible action.
Didn't we agree not to be Robert's rules?
I don't know.
No, we don't,
Well, we agreed not to
we are not a.
Yeah, we're not brown
We're
out,
not
but-
brown out or anything, no, we just,
Motion wasn't seconded.
we do everything by consensus. Yeah.
Okay, we all,
So we're
Moving
okay
on.
with that, right? We'll-
Yeah, take it
okay.
back.
All right,
Table.
we'll move that, all right.
Yeah.
No, 5, item discussion and possible action, AP, BPAP 3410, non-discrimination. All right, so you, now discuss, it's the same thing, discussion, possible action. So you will take them back to your constituent group, right?
Well, I think this one's,
Bob, you will talk about
Right,
that?
So, this is the first reading
Mm-hmm.
of these 3 board policies that you see that we're gonna review. I understand they are quite lengthy, as if you have looked at them, they're
18
very
pages,
lengthy. Some of those are due to, some of that length and some of the language for all of these that we'll go through today is as a result of some of the Title IX changes that have taken place at colleges and universities and in federal law. And we may even see some of those, as any of you are following this, may see changes happen between now and the time that we have the final reading, with the administration currently changing some of the Title IX requirements. So, had these vetted by attorneys, and so that's why they're very, 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 very thorough, as you can see.
Yeah.
That's for 1, 2, and 3, right? All 3 of
Yes,
them, right?
all 3 of them
All
are
3 of them,
very,
yeah.
they've all been vetted, they've gone through legal counsel, actually 2 groups of legal counsel, and so we wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything. So, happy reading.
Alright.
Any questions or concerns? I'm assuming you'll bring them back to this meeting?
In
Yes, sir.
February.
I actually had 6 pages on which there were questions or concerns that I had.
That feel free to bring them. You have 6 pages of questions?
No, I have questions that are on 6 pages of the
Okay,
BP, or
The AP or the BP?
comments. Sorry,
Or comments,
the
okay.
AP. Some of them are grammatical, but some of them are maybe a little bit of substantial.
Okay.
So, should I just send them to you via email or
Well, you
bring
guys are
them?
gonna have a
would-
read at the Senate for these, so I think that'd probably be the best place to actually bring them. This is a first read for all of us, and they have to go out to all of our areas, so whenever they go to the academic center, it's probably the best.
Okay, how about if I send you the ones that I think are just grammatical,
That'd be great.
and then I can bring up the rest of them in a
Yeah,
second.
because legalese, as you know, sometimes is not, or we spell
Yeah.
some things wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay,
We
All
can make
right.
those changes, yeah.
So we're good? So you will all take them to your respective groups? All right. Strategic Planning Standing Committee.
For that, we were
Uh-huh.
just simply requesting, here's the charge and the current membership.
Yes.
We're requesting to add a member,
Mm-hmm.
the Director of Equity
Director of Equity to be added to
to
this
be
group?
added. This is the
Okay.
group that will be matching the Vision for Success goals from the Chancellor's
Right,
Office
right.
to our own
Okay.
strategic plan.
All right.
And since that Vision for Success document focuses so much on equity, we really need that voice
Okay,
in
well-
this space.
Do I hear a motion?
So move.
The second. Discussion. Everybody, no discussion at all on this? And so everybody's okay? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Abstention? All right, well. All right. Announcement.
This is the fastest meeting ever.
Announcements.
Yes, I'm.
All right.
Just
too.
about to say, normally that I have to run to it, but in an hour, from 12 to noon,
Mm.
the Association of Latino Employees will be hosting our annual Tamalada in Circadian. So I'm glad I'll finish it. I hope.
There'll be
get
lunch
to
there,
go
what
in.
you're saying. In other words, lunch will be
Exactly.
provided there. At 12 o'clock.
But the point of a Tamalada is like for people to bring stuff as well. If you can, if you're not, that's okay. Still join us. And hopefully they'll still be.
I thought you
enough
were inviting us to come eat. Now you say we have to
That
bring
too.
our own food?
That too.
You have
What
an
are you
hour
supposed to
to
bring?
get something.
Anything you want.
All right. Okay.
We'll be bringing tamales though.
All right.
So,
Yeah,
There you
bring
go.
yourself.
Other announcements? All right. Well, okay. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Second. You second. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. Okay. We're gonna have a happy holidays to all of you.
This
All
is
right.
Roger's
Okay.
last college council. This is Rogen's last college
No,
council.
no, it's good. No. Let us not bring that attention to that. This is it. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Make sure everybody signs in and out to get credit. Everybody in and sign in.
You want to be classy? That's a, Terry, is that part of your? Is it what class? is it?
yeah, actually, I would like to make
But I
every
have to read them
standing
again after I suggest some changes to see which ones survive.
I would have so many credits.
make them non-credit, so no one has to pay to be enrolled in those courses.
You're helping me out. That way we can, like,
You can collect FTS.